Shalom everybody, hope you're doing well, hope you had an amazing week, getting ready for Shabbat here in the land of Israel, and sharing a little thought with you about this week's Torah portion, Acharei and Kedoshim, based on an idea brought down by the Nitivot Shalom, the Samana Rebbe, who focuses on a verse in this week's Torah portion that says, K'maseh Eretz Mitzrayim asher yishavtem ba, lo tasu, or k'maseh Eretz Canaan asher ani mevi etchem shama, lo tasu. So in this week's Torah portion, God is telling Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, that basically don't do like the Egyptians did, and don't do like the Canaanites do. Right? Basically, where you came from, where I brought you from, where you dwelled in for over 200 years, in the land of the Egyptians, don't act like them. And where I'm bringing you to the land of the Canaanites, where you're going to see the Canaanite tribes and how they do things, don't do like them either. So on one level, it's like a very interesting thing, right? They're brought out of the land of Egypt, right? And you think, they're coming, through this journey, they're going to go to the Holy Land, it's going to be amazing. Yet they're already being told before they even get there that in this Holy Land, in this place where you're going to become a nation, right? And a very unique nation, there's also people there that I don't want you to be like, right? So what's the idea? So the Nitivot Shalom says like this. Says that on the surface of this verse, it seems like, okay, so all like the bad things that they do there in both in Egypt and in Canaan, right? All the things I don't want you to do, all like the things that the Torah doesn't let you do. That's what I'm talking about, right? Make sure all the things that you're not supposed to do, right? Like the Egyptians do and the Canaanites do, you don't do them. Right? But the Nitivot Shalom continues and says, but the Torah is very specific about what it wants Jews to do and not to do. Right? It doesn't have to say don't do like the Egyptians and don't do like the Canaanites if it's already telling us all kind of like the things to stay away from and as well as the actions and the character traits to bring ourselves closer to. So then what is it saying if it's not talking about that? So he says like this, that it's talking about those things that we're allowed to do, right? On some level, the world is broken up into like, from the eyes of the Torah, like a mitzvah, right? Something that's a mitzvah and something that's a asur. Something that's like, totally, you should go do it. You're like, encouraged to, even commanded to do. And something that's a asur that you should totally stay away from, right? But it's not like that. There's this gray area in between, which is called the world of heter, right? The world of like, you're allowed to do it, right? Things that are not a mitzvah, right? It's not like you have to do it, but it's not like prohibited either to do it, right? Anything, many things, millions of things, right, in our day-to-day lives, right? Having to do with eating and dressing and act, so many different things, right, that we do every day of our lives. So what's the Torah coming to teach us here? The Torah is coming to teach us that even these things do with holiness. Even these things do with kavanah. Don't do these things that you're allowed to do, but you're not commanded to do, and you don't have to stay away from, right? Don't do them like the Egyptians do. Don't do them like the Canaanites do, right? They don't do them, right, with the holiness that I'm asking you, that I want you to do them with, right? The things that are quote-unquote mundane, the things that are quote-unquote just the everyday stuff, I don't have to really think about it. I just got to focus on like what's the mitzvah, what I'm supposed to do, what I have to do, and the things I have to stay away from. And these things I'll just kind of do like on cruise control. I'll do it like without like thought, right? And the Torah's like, no, even in that place, right, and especially in that place, where it'd be so easy to just do it like whatever, right? That is the place I want you to put thought, kavanah, intention, and awareness, right? And that's the place where you're going to become holy, right? That's the place where you're going to become holy. And it's a beautiful teaching, right? So much of our lives, are spent in these kind of moments of just kind of doing the things that we need to do to like, sustain our existence or just kind of push us through the day, right? And in those moments, right, we could bring deeper sense of spirituality, deeper sense of meaning to our lives, right? And even bring it to the level of mitzvah. Because on some level, the world is all like, broken up into mitzvah or asur, right? That which we are quote-unquote commanded to do, and that which we're prohibited to do, right? We should stay away from. The thing that we should go closer to, the thing that we should distance ourselves from. But when we look at the word mitzvah, right, we get a different understanding of exactly what that means, right? We often think of the word mitzvah, oh, it's a commandment, I have to do it, I'm being told, you must do this. And on some level, there's definitely, truth to that. But when you look at the word mitzvah, right, in the Hebrew language, the word mitzvah comes from a language of connection. Right? A mitzvah is something that is an action, it's a deed, right, that connects you to something higher, something beyond, right, in the godly realm. Right? And if you even take the word mitzvah and do some fancy letter work with it, right? In the Hebrew alphabet, there's something called adbash, that the first letter corresponds to the last letter, and the second letter to the second last letter, and so on and so on, so on and so forth. And then you can even switch letters and get like a deeper or another understanding of that word. So if you take the word mitzvah and you take the mem, which is the first word, right? It corresponds to the yud, right? In this kind of like mirror reality of the Hebrew alphabet. If you take the next letter, tzadik, right, that corresponds to a hey, right? And then after that, right, you have vav and hey from the original word mitzvah. So what do we see? That in the word mitzvah, we have the yud and the hey and the vav and the hey, which is the holy four-letter name of God. Right? So what is a mitzvah really about? It's about connecting us to God. It's about connecting us to a divine reality, right? And giving us a chance to, one, again, connect us upwards towards that, but also to bring that reality down here to earth, right? So in this realm of heter, of what's allowed to us, we have tremendous capabilities and tremendous opportunities to make that kadosh, to make that holy, to make ourselves holy, and to make the whole world holy, right? And maybe even and maybe more than any other realm of our lives, that's the place where we can connect to holiness, right? And bring it to the level of mitzvah, right? Bring it to the level of connection, right? Bring it to the level of connecting to the one unified force, reality behind everything in this world. Right? May we be blessed. May we be blessed to remember this every day, right? To really bring joy and happiness and meaning and depth to our lives, right? Share that with others so that we can take our everyday, mundane, everyday regular actions, right? And lift it up to the level of mitzvah, lift it up to the level of connecting, right? To what's beyond this world. And bring that, what's beyond this world, into this world. Right? Lots of love from the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.